Alright, the next step, if you haven't already done so, is to go to Autopilot HQ. You can find the link on the blog post, and then you can click on the free trial button or just sign up. It's a free 30-day trial, and they do not require any credit cards, so we can get this all up and running and try it out for free for 30 days, which is pretty awesome. So once you click on free trial and sign up for an account, you'll be able to log right in, and this is what you'll see on the dashboard. This to me all looks kind of confusing. We don't have to worry about this. So the first thing we want to do is click on the dashboard. So you get familiar with the dashboard. It'll give you the steps to get started. We don't have to go through all of these first, but we should do some of these, and we can start off with the add the tracking code. This is the most important thing, because without the tracking code added to the website, we cannot set up the automation because the software will not work. Alright, to do that, we click on these settings and we click on tracking code for web pages, and here's your code. Click on copy to clipboard. Alright, now we have to paste this at the least on the page with the forms on your website, but in the best possible option is to place it in the header between the head tags. If you click show me how, you'll see right before the end head tag of your website, so that it'll show up on every page. If you have trouble doing this, it could be a little bit technical, then I suggest that you look at the option here where it says paste the code into the head tag of every page you want to track. So ensure visit support, so they'll actually help you through support by guiding you through it, and they'll give you some options. And if you're still confused, you can contact the support team or do live chat. Or if you have somebody that's in charge of your website, there's an email option here where you put in their email, and it'll automatically email the instructions to your web guy or girl with the instructions. Now I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm going to show you how to do it in WordPress, because WordPress is the most commonly used website platform, and a lot of you watching this video will also be using WordPress. So let's copy this code. I'm going to head over to my WordPress dashboard. Alright, so every theme is different. Every WordPress theme is different and has different options. So the first, in my theme, I can actually go to Genesis, click on theme settings. Theme settings again. This is the footer, header and footer scripts, and you'll see this code. There's a section here for this code will output immediately before the closing head tag. That's what we want, according to this, right? So I add it in there, and I click publish. This is invisible code. It works in the background. No one can see it. Now, if you don't have this special place to enter the script, you should look into the appearance. Actually, no. First, we'll look at a plugin. There are a lot of plugins that let you do this as well. So if you don't have a simple way to do that, like I just did, go to plugins and click add new and search for header code. And the first one here should be plenty good, or the second one, this one looks like it's specifically for this, so I'll just install header footer code manager. Let's wait till it installs, and then it'll give me an option to activate it. Click on activate. Then we wait for it to finish activating. Any day now. There it is. Alright, then we find it wherever it is here somewhere. Settings, maybe under tools. Let's see. Settings. Not seeing that. Let's go. We're in plugins right now, so let's find the header code. Let's see. Here it is, header code. So if you can't see it in the menu, I'm not sure why I can't see it, then you can just go to install plugins and click on the settings option here. Then click on add new snippet. Snippet name, autopilot, where, site-wide, location, header, and paste it here and click save. This is option 2 for you. I'm not going to do it since I've already added it. Alright? The last option, if for some reason this doesn't work for you, is go to Appearance, go to Theme Editor. I understand. Look for a header section here. See, I have a child theme, so most of you will see the header section page on this side here. If you don't, check here to see if there's a main theme. And here's header.php, and we can add it here, but I wouldn't do anything here unless you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you could really mess things up and break things. Always stick to using the plugins, or see if your theme has a built-in feature like mine does. Otherwise, use the plugin. Plugins make everything easier. WordPress is based around plugins to make life easier for pretty much anything you need to do. So once again, go to the installed plugins, find that theme. If you can't find it in the menu here, settings, add new snippet. Remember, I didn't add it, I didn't save it, otherwise it would be here. Snippet name, site-wide, header, paste it here, save, done. Now we need to see if it's working. So we open up our site, we click the right-click View Source, and we should see Autopilot here. Boom, Autopilot code is right here, as you can see. But this is not the ultimate test. The ultimate test is to click around a few pages, right, and then see if it's popping up in the dashboard for Autopilot. So now that is done, we click on the home page for dashboard, and we refresh it. Boom, as you can see, it is now registering visitors. I went to the home page, I went to the blog page, I went to the contact page. It's physically tracking me right now. Awesome. That means it's working. The next thing we want to do is set up your email domain. There's a nice video on how to do that. Alright. But here it is. We can go to Settings, Domain, and click on Configure Mail Domain, and then type in your website domain. So for me, it's davidmelnichuk.com, accept terms, set domain. Now it's going to ask you for a few additional things here that you have to set up. This is a whole nother step, right? This is a little bit more difficult unless you know what you're doing. If you have a web manager, please send them your logins and ask him to do the following. Alright? If you don't do these changes, then all of your mail will be sent from your username, your company name, at autopilotmail.io. That's fine, but it's always better to have the email sent from your domain name, because that also guarantees that the majority of all of your, that guarantees that all of your emails will go through. You know, sometimes it might be marked as spam by somebody, and then you're going to have a hard time getting through. So you want to make sure that it's more professional, there's less risk for it being marked as spam, and the best way to do that is to make sure that your domain is set up properly as the from email .com name, so that, okay, let me rephrase real quick. When email, automatic email is sent, the current from email will be davidmelnichuk@autopilotmail.io. When you set these settings here in your domain name settings, then it will send from at davidmelnichuk.com, and you can actually change the from email without a problem, and it'll change it for you. And we'll go over that in the email setting up section. So, how do we set these details? If you don't know how to, if this is too much for you, too overwhelming, you don't have anybody to do it for you, don't worry. This will still work without this. You'll just have the from email set to autopilotmail.io, but when they click respond on the email, when they click on reply, it'll still send it to your email, not this specific email, because this email forwards it, okay? So no worries, but always better to do this, and I'll show you how to do that next. Alright, so the next step, and by the way, you can totally skip this next section if you're not going to deal with this, as you don't have to, but it's always better to. do this, and if you think you can figure it out, follow my instructions and let's continue. So you have to log into the control panel that controls your domain name. Okay? So for me, my host, it's cPanel. I use A2 hosting, and this is my control panel for my website. So once you're in here, you want to find the section called domains and then click on the zone editor. Once you do that, you'll have a list of all your domain names where you can edit the DNS, domain name server information. For me, it's manage, and now I can see all of my details here. This is where I have to add these details. So here we go. Step 1, add a host record, a Cname that looks like this, and the value is this. So I copy that, I click add new record, a Cname that looks like that, the host, and the value is that. Add record. Step 1 done. Next, a TXT record. So we click add, we find TXT, we paste that first value, and then the second value here. Add. Step 2 done. Same thing, the rest of the 3 are TXT records. Once again, add TXT, add. 2 more to go. Remember, Autopilot has incredible support, and they're always willing to help. If this is super confusing for you, don't you worry. They'll point you in the right direction once you tell them where your site is hosted, and so on. So I've added all of this. Now, usually this takes about at least like 20-30 minutes to go through, up to a whole day. But let's see if it triggers it automatically. So it's testing DNS Setup, and it looks like it's not detecting it just yet, which is totally fine. It will in the next 30 minutes to up to a day. All right, so we're done. This is it for now. As you can see, it's tracking. I'll go back here, click on something here, something different. I'll go back, view new activity, and we're there. So we're good to go. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to set up a journey, which is the automation behind how everything works. So tune into the next video, and we're almost done. I think that actually might be the last one. Alrighty, if you have any questions, reach out to me on the contact form. I would love to help if you have any questions.